Guys, it's Kathleen. Welcome back to my channel. We are hitting up a couple of yard sales today. It is a beautiful day in Alabama and I am here for it. Now there are not too many yard sales this weekend and I really don't know why, because it's not a holiday. I guess people are just starting to go on vacation, but there's a couple of them. One in particular that seems like it might have some stuff that's in my wheelhouse. So I am ready to go in and start digging through those piles. I love to pick up games, especially games that are a little bit different looking, and that one definitely hit the mark. It seems to have all the pieces, so I like my chances on this. The comps are really high, right around the $40 to $50 range. I never mind digging through a toy box. Sometimes you can do really well with some of these action figures and even some of the toys that you might find. But the other reason is that I teach, and so I am always looking for things that I can throw in either my treasure box or just throw in my classroom for my kids to play with. And you can usually get them so dirt cheap that I really just don't mind taking the time to go through and see what I can find. I am forever digging through bins at yard sales looking for another Jellycat stuffed animal. This is not a Jellycat, but it is still a decent pickup for only 50 cents or $1. Now this Pikachu was way too new, and so I didn't even bother looking up the comps because usually the newer ones just aren't worth much.
I'll give you the bag to go with it. This has got several different screens in it, so it's $1 for all of that. Yes, different sizes.
Well, I'm pulling what I think might work, and then
I'll take 8.
what is those shirts? What is it to pull those? It's 7 each. I'm not really.
There. Okay. Okay, she has a bunch of Athleta here, and most of the Athleta is either a size small or a size medium. It was in really, really good shape. Athleta is just okay to flip. Here's another piece. This was a cute little like one piece romper type thing. But I really don't pick it up to resell anymore unless I can find something that's in a really large size, or the fabric content is super special, or it is new with tags. I'm also not a huge fan of picking up skirts unless it's going to be a really high-end skirt and or it's going to be brand new with tags. They just kind of hang around my inventory for a really long time. Now, because I had seen the Athleta, I continued digging through these clothes. Also, she's my size, so I always thought I could find something to wear back to school. Now, this is new with tags Old Navy, which is usually a yes for me, but it's a denim dress, so I just passed on that. It was a size medium, not something I would wear. So it was an easy mark for me to leave behind. Here's a cabbie little tank. I liked cabbie, but it just does not move for me. So I typically won't pick it up unless I'm going to wear it. And as cute as that was, I didn't need to be flashing my arms. Now this Athleta piece is for me, even though it's stained. And really just because I was looking for something to wear on vacation. We're going to be doing some traveling and I wanted something comfortable. I can easily get those stains out. So that was an easy yes for $1. Keep doing that. Okay, here's another piece of Athleta. I do not like a turtleneck or a mock neck or whatever it's called. So that was an easy one to pass on. But as you see, I'm about to hit into Lily territory. Although first there's a Lacoste. Now I love Lacoste, but I do not like Lacoste that is kind of like box cut or whatever. It's a little bit on the short side. So passed on that, and then I'm about to hit some pieces of Lily. First I gotta get through this stuff. Oh good, another dress. Here's my first piece of Lily, and it's just a solid piece of Lily, but it is really in good condition. I love the neckline, and I'm checking here to see if it was linen. It was not. This is 100% cotton, but she was only asking $1. And $1 for Lily is usually going to be a yes, especially this is in my size. Not that I need another tank top, especially with the aforementioned arm issue. This is a linen short sleeve shirt, scoop neck, and that's a yes for me. Also Lily Pulitzer, it's oversized, which is why I can get away with the small. These things I just wasn't in the mood to deal with winter. Now this is an athletic jumper. It is super soft, super cute. But again, tank top is not my friend. So I ultimately put that back. Okay, now this is cute and this is Athleta, but again, tank top, I don't know. I mean, of course, that didn't stop me from getting the blue one, but I just really didn't think that I would get much wear out of this one, and I do think I will wear the blue one. Okay, so this is a 3/4 sleeve Lily dress. I can't remember the style name. Oh, there you go. It's the Cassie. It's in a bit of a weird pattern, but because she was only asking $1 for it, I figured it was worth taking a stab. I mean, I think I'll be able to get around $16 or $18 for it, potentially even higher. Ooh, that cabbie vest is really cute, but it is not my vibe. Okay, this is the only dress that she had marked a little bit higher than the others, but it was only $8 and it was new without the tags. So that was an easy one because of the pattern, and the size was a little bit bigger. Most of the things that I was finding with by Lily were smalls, and that dress in particular was a medium. Still would have rather had a large, but nonetheless, that's a pretty Athleta sweater. And then this was the last Lily piece that I found, the Essie tank, super, super cute, in a fabulous pattern. Absolutely going to be a yes for $1. Okay, these espresso cups and saucers were super interesting to me, and I kept on going back to them because I love the pattern. I loved that they were made in Italy, but I could not find any distinct comps that I could hang my hat on. Like, there were a couple of brands of made in Italy espresso cups that were doing really well, like selling really high, but they were all stamped, and these were not stamped. The only thing I could make out on the bottom was made in Italy. There was no other marking, and so for that reason, I ultimately left them behind, because I also did not need to be fooling with wrapping, packing, shipping, all the things with this, on something that is such an incredible unknown, but they sure were pretty. I also really liked these coffee mugs and saucers that were by Lennox. I think it was called Butler Pantry, but they just did not sell so high. And so again, when I started thinking about all the work that would be involved shipping them, I left them. And I gave a quick perusal through these games, but they all were kind of sucky, so nothing fabulous. Over there, I had high hopes because so much of this stuff was vintage, but no such luck. Okay, right here is a bin full of elephants, and they are vintage, but it says right there in the tape, $25 for the entire box. However, this little piece is from India, and it has a price tag of $1, and she sold it to me for $1, so I was super stoked to pick that one up.
Right. That's true. Thank you. Y'all take care.
Hey guys, welcome back to the haul. So I think I did okay at these 3 yard sales. There was nothing fabulous in terms of yard sales this weekend in Alabama anyway. Now I did end up going to an estate sale right after I hit up these 3 yard sales, and honestly the estate sale was fabulous. So definitely make sure you come on back next week because I got a huge purse haul. It was like a hoarder situation, and she mostly just hoarded purses. And I mean, purses new with tags. Anyway, no spoilers, but make sure you pop on back because I'm going to do that in a separate video. Otherwise, this video would be like an hour long. So anyway, I spent a total of $72 at all of these yard sales. Now, of that $72, I spent $40 on this, a Chloe purse. I have never picked up a Chloe purse. Honestly, I never knew about a Chloe purse, but when I did a quick search on whatchamacallit, Google image, there were tons of these out there. And so I figured $40, that's reasonable, right? When I got it in the car and started looking at the comps, I realized that some Chloe purses sell for like $1,000, and this ain't $1,000 purse. I can tell you that much right now. So there's little tells like that I should have been smarter about, to just look like threads hanging off, but lesson learned. You got to look a little closer. I should have pulled up one of the comps and looked into it, but I didn't. I didn't know about Chloe purses at all. So it was just a total shot in the dark for me. And then I called Karen, and Karen's like, well, yeah, I love Chloe purses, but you've got to make sure it's authentic. I'm like, oh, I'm fairly certain this one is not. $40 mistake, but that's okay, because now I have a nice tote bag, because I low-key like this. So sometimes you just have to take a stab and hope for the best, and sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, but you know what? More often than not, I win, so I'm always going to take that shot in the dark. Okay, other things that I picked up. I threw this in there mostly just because I love this character. Lily from the storybooks. And she was in such good shape with her tag still on. I saw sold comps for like $20 or $25. Even if I get $15, $18 for her, I'm happy. I think I only paid about $1. I threw these in because I love Pier 1 stuff. These were 50 cents. That's always going to be a yes. This one is hung up, but there we go. But super cute. And these things are so easy to photograph, to store, to ship. These are just kind of no-brainers to throw in your bag when you're out and about and you come across them. I did grab these signature Hallmark blank note cards. They were only 50 cents a pop. And then I also got 2 boxes of this. They're both the same. Hallmark 10 note cards. They are all sealed. And it says with appreciation. So I'm like, oh, I'm always looking for thank you cards. No, these are for expressions of sympathy. But I think I might just lock these up together and stick them on eBay because I think they will sell. Probably not going to sell much more than $8 or $10, but I only paid 50 cents for each. Okay, I love to pick up games. This game was only $2. I saw sold comps for $40 to $75 for these. Now, if you can find this brand spanking new, you can probably get like $85, $90 for it. This was not brand spanking new. And I realized when I got it home that it was missing the soundtrack CD. I don't think that's a showstopper because what it also has is it has at least one expansion pack in here and it has all the other pieces to the original game. So I think that I can get at least $30 for this and potentially even more. I think I'm going to list it at like 38 and see where that gets me and just point out that the soundtrack CD is missing, but everything else is there and then some. It's got all of the cards and then, like I said, that extra expansion pack. So I think I'm probably going to get at least $34, $36. All right. I love lug bags. It is one of my favorite things to pick up. Now, this one is not new with the tags. Thus far, I have only sold new with tags lug bags. However, I just liked this one. It's in really good condition. She charged me $7 for it, but even the interior is so nice and clean. This is the lug, I don't know, by Coe? I don't know. Usually the lug bags have a name inside. So I don't know what version of this it is, but it's big, y'all. And it's got this little like see-through compartment. It has a little bit of schmutzy on the outside, but that's going to clean right up. I am not even worried about it. I haven't even looked up the comps, but I think even conservatively speaking, I should get at least $24, $30 for it. Somewhere around there, which not bad for $7. And then this, she charged me only $2 for this Vera Bradley. It had this in it, but I don't think that goes to it. In fact, I know it doesn't. It is in like new condition. Beautiful, beautiful, hard-backed, quilted with the shoulder strap. I found comps around $24, $26. So very good for a $2 purchase. Okay, I did throw in this little horse because it is Schleich, Schleich, I think that's how you spell it. Anyway, I always pick those up when I find them, especially if they're super duper cheap. I'll hold on to him until I get a couple of other horses. These always sell for me. And then this I grabbed just because it was a dinosaur and I couldn't read it. And I thought, well, maybe this one is Schleich too. It is not. So he'll just go into my classroom. No harm, no foul. I threw these 2 action figures in. You know, whenever I'm picking up stuff like this, I know I can bring it into my classroom, so I don't really care if it's not something that is going to have any, you know, resale value or be worth my time in listing it and shipping it and all the things. And these 2 don't really sell, so these will go into my classroom as well. But do not sleep on these action figures because if you can find certain ones, and I'll flash a few up there, that I've found in the past because I can't remember the name of the brand to look for. But I always just check their feet to see if they're marked. Sometimes you can really find some bangers out there and you pay like 50 cents for them and then sell them for $20. It's the best deal in town. Okay, this was just an impulse buy. These were only $3 and it is 3 different little stoppers. And really the reason I grabbed them is because they are this like heavy pewter and they're dirty as can be. So I definitely need to clean them up. In looking at comps, it doesn't appear that these are going to do much of anything. Like I said, they were only $3 and I really liked them. Okay, I picked this up, and how interesting is this? I only looked at this a little closer because Kayla, the homeschooling picker, always picks up things like this. This was in a box of elephants, and she said $25 for the whole box, but then this one was marked $1. So I asked her about it, and she's like, oh yeah, that was before I decided to sell all the elephants together. She goes, but since it's marked, you can have it for $1. I found a sold comp for this exact same one that sold for $45. Now, there are a ton of them listed, so I don't think I'm going to get $45. There's too many of them listed, but I do think I'm going to get like $25. And this little sucker came right from India, all hand carved. Beautiful, beautiful piece. All right, and then the last items that I got at the sale were all clothing items, and her clothing items were really, really very inexpensive, like $1 for most of the pieces. So the first thing I grabbed, I don't really grab a lot of Athleta to resell, and this is not to resell, this is for me because this is in my size, and it is like crazy soft. And Chris and I are going on a trip in a couple of weeks, and so this is going to be a great piece to wear. It's going to be super comfortable. It has 2 little grease spots, but I can get those out, no problemo. So for $1, this was a great pickup for my trip. I love polo, and polo like this in a size large, that is going to be that moisture wicking material. This is going to sell all day long. Probably only going to be $16 or $18, but it was $1. This was also $1. And I love Lily Pulitzer. This is not going to go for much more than $14 or $16. If I sell it, I may keep it. It depends on how fat my arms look when I put it on. This I think I'm going to keep. This is 100% linen, and it is a scoop neck in this pretty pink. Then I got 2 Lily dresses. This one, it's hard to read because it's such a busy pattern, but she only charged me $1 for this dress. How cool is that? And it's a weird pattern. It's got like tigers. I much prefer like the beachy Lily patterns, but you can't go wrong with a dress for $1. I mean, come on. Now, this next dress, she charged me $8 for, but it's because it's new without the tags. It is in a size small. I can't remember what the name of the pattern is, but I did find it. It's this cute little V-neck, 3/4 sleeve. Great pickup for $7, $8, whatever I paid. And then this was also $1. How pretty is that? That is so my vibe. This is what I love about Lily. This is the Lily pattern that I go for. So anyway, I don't think that this is going to go for reselling because I think when I looked it up, there were like 100 of them listed and 4 of them sold, something like that. But anyway, anytime you can find cheap Lily Pulitzer, it's always going to be a yes for me. All right, guys, that is everything so far. All right, guys, that is everything for this haul. As always, hit subscribe down below if you like this kind of content. Please make sure you come back next week so you can see the purse haul, and I will catch you then. Bye, guys.